Good morning, Year 5-6. Welcome to your math lesson for Wednesday, the 10th of February. Start off with these arithmetic questions, pause the video and complete those. Okay, and then let's look at the answers. So 97.3 times 100, the digits will shift 2 places to the left. You get 9,730. 10% of 4,320, 432. So to find 10%, you just need to divide by 10. 5.77 take away 5.55, 0.22. 4/10 of 5,520 is 2,208. 55.75 take away 50.525, 5.225. 1 1/4 take away half is 3/4. 407 times 42, 17,094. And then 10/5 add 5/10 add 2/10 should have something equivalent to 27/10. Okay, so just before we get started, just want us to think about a couple of things. One is try and remind yourself of what perimeter is. So just in your book, write down what to explain what perimeter is in just a sentence. So have a go at that now. Okay, so perimeter, hopefully you should have something along the lines of the distance around the outside of a closed shape, potentially, something like that. And then what I want you to do is write down what is an isosceles triangle, what is a scalene triangle, and what is an equilateral triangle. So see if you can remember what those three different types of triangle are and write down a definition for each of those. Okay, so isosceles triangle would be a triangle with two sides which are the same length and one side which is different. A scalene triangle is a triangle where all the sides are different lengths, and an equilateral triangle is a triangle where all the sides are exactly the same length. Okay, now that's going to be important for today because we're looking at perimeter of different shapes, not just rectangles and rectilinear shapes today. So we think about the perimeter, like I say, of different shapes. So the first one we've got, it's kind of giving us some information to work out the perimeter. So an equilateral triangle has a side length of 13 meters. What is the perimeter? So we've got to use the fact that we know that an equilateral triangle has 3 equal sides. So if one of the sides is 13 meters, we know that a triangle has 3 sides. And we know that all 3 of them would have to be 13 meters. So equilateral triangle, all sides the same length, 13 meters, times that by 3, 39 meters for the perimeter. Jack measures 2 sides of an isosceles triangle. One side is 6 centimeters and the other side is 4 centimeters. What are the 2 possible perimeters of the triangle? So why are there 2 possible ones? Well, like we said, an isosceles triangle has 2 sides which are the same length, but we don't know which of those lengths is replicated. We don't know which of those lengths has 2 of them that are that length. So we've got 2 possibilities, because if 2 of the lengths were 6 centimeters, so let's say these 2 lengths were 6 centimeters, then, and that would be 4 centimeters, then that's going to give a different perimeter to if we had one longer side here, and these 2 sides were 4 centimeters. So we might have these 2 are 4, this one's 6, or these 2 are 6, and this one is 4. So we've got 2 possibilities. So have a little think. What would the 2 possibilities be? So if this one was 6, 6, and 4, or 4, 4, and 6, what would the two possibilities be? So pause the video and try and work it out now. Okay, so as we've got here, we could have two possible types of triangle. Move this up a bit. So we've got either it would be 14 centimeters in length or 16 centimeters in length, and hopefully you found those two. Okay, a square has a 10 centimeter side. An equilateral triangle has a 12 centimeter side. Which shape has the greater perimeter? So again, how we've got information, but we have to use our knowledge of shapes to be able to use this information to find out the perimeter. So if we've got our square, let's do this square. So we might have a square which has 10 centimeter sides, or we might have an equilateral triangle that has 12 centimeter sides. So that would mean all these sides would be 10 on the square and all the sides would be 12 on the triangle. So there would be 4 lots of the 10 or 3 lots of the 12. Well, 4 lots of 10 is 40, 3 lots of 12 is 36. So the square would have the greater perimeter. And here we go. So the greater perimeter is with the square. 10 times 4 is 40, 12 times 3 is 36, and 40 is greater than 36. Okay, something slightly more challenging now. So the front of a garage is a rectangle, 3 meters high and 4 meters wide. So this line here, from here to here, is 3 meters. And then from here to here, we've got a length of 4 meters. Okay. The garage door is 70 centimeters shorter and 40 centimeters thinner on each side than the garage. What is the perimeter of the garage door? So this bit is the garage door. So then we need to find the perimeter of just the door here. Now it's 70 centimeters shorter and 40 centimeters thinner on each side of the garage. So if we think about, we've got meters and centimeters, so we don't want to be dealing with two different types of measurement. We want to have them the same. So the first thing I'm going to do is make the units of measurement the same. So 4 meters is the same as 400 centimeters, and 3 meters is the same as 300 centimeters. So that makes it now a little bit easier to do any calculations. So pause the video now and see if you can use the rest of the information to work out the perimeter of the garage door. Okay, let's have a look. So we've got 70 centimeters shorter. So that must be this length here. So between here and here is 70 centimeters shorter. So this bit here is 70 centimeters. So what I need to do is take that away from the 300 centimeters. So I do my 300, take away 70 is 230. So this length here is 230 centimeters. From the top of the door here to the bottom of the door there is 230 centimeters, which means this side is 230 as well. So I've got both these sides, but it is 40 centimeters thinner. So what that means is that if it's thinner, it's not as wide. So then that must be this bit here, being 40 centimeters. Not only that, but if I think about this time, I've got it on this side as well. It's 40 centimeters. So actually, it's 80 centimeters thinner in total because it's 40 centimeters thinner on each side. So what I then need to do is do my 400 and take away 80, which would be 320 centimeters. So then I can add all these lengths up, which means I have this length down here as well, add all the lengths up, and that will give me the perimeter. So I've got 320 plus 230 is 550, and I've got two lots of those. So added together, you have a perimeter of 1,100 centimeters. Okay, and one more to it's kind of similar to the questions that we were looking at yesterday, but it's giving you separate information to try and work it out. Ava's using squares with 5 centimeter sides. And she makes this shape using 3 squares, but she thinks she can't calculate the perimeter. Explain why Ava is incorrect. So pause the video and have a little think about this one. Okay, so she might think that she's incorrect because of what's going on here. Well, does that matter? Let's see if we can work it out anyway. So we know that from there to there will be 2 lots of the 5, so we know that will be 10 centimeters. We know from there to there will be 5. We know from there to there will be 5. We know from here to here will be 5. But what about these 2 bits? Well, we've got to remember that from there to there is still the 10 centimeters. So even if 5 have taken it up here, it doesn't matter if this is 1 or 2 or whatever it is. We know that all across there is going to be 10 in total. So we've got the 5 here plus the other 5 here. And those bits could be 3 and 2, 1 and 4. It doesn't really matter what it is, but it will add up to 5. What we also need to make sure is we calculate that length there and that length there. Okay? So altogether, the perimeter will still be 40 centimeters. So we've got 10, 15 here, and then we'll go, so 10, 15, and then 20, and then we'll do this side 25, 30, and then we know that across here is going to be another 10, which will make it up to the 40. Doesn't matter how much each of those little bits are, we know that it will add up to 10 in total, which will give us 40 centimeters. Okay, time for you guys to have a go. So pause the video and have a little look at these silver questions and try your best. Okay, so finding the missing lengths. So it's kind of using a lot of what we were using yesterday to calculate the perimeter of rectilinear shapes. It was building on, and this is just building on it a little bit more with some different types of shapes. So with these two, you needed to find the missing lengths. So this one here, you needed to add up this length and this length, which would have given you 9 centimeters. This length here would be the 7 centimeters. Take away the 3 will leave you 4 centimeters. This length here, you've got the 10 centimeters in total, but you're just trying to find this bit here. So you've got to take away the 3, and that will give you 7 centimeters. And this length here, it's the 6 plus this 2 down here to give you 8 centimeters. Calculate the perimeter of these shapes. So you had to work out the missing lengths again. Didn't give you the clue as to which lengths were missing this time, so you had to figure out that these 2 lengths were missing and then calculate the perimeter. And with this one, it's giving you them all, but the extra challenge was the fact that it's in decimals this time. So 5A, 38 centimeters, and B, 33.4 centimeters. Okay, and gold questions. A square inside another square. The perimeter of the inner square is 16 centimeters. The outer square's perimeter is 4 times the size of the inner square. What is the length of one side of the outer square? How do you know? What do you notice? And then Mo thinks there's not enough information to calculate the perimeter. Is he correct? Explain how you know. So pause the video and have a go at these ones. Okay, so the small square inside, you've got a perimeter of 16 centimeters. The outer square's perimeter is 4 times the size. So if 4 times the size means that this one is going to be 64 centimeters. And then one of the sides will be 8, because 64 divided by 4 will be, divided by 8 will be 8. So we've got to divide it out to find the perimeter. And then this one, no, the perimeter is 58 centimeters. Okay, platinum questions. So another question where the shapes are slightly off, and these two as well. So pause the video again to have a go at these ones. Okay, so this one, Rosie is making shapes made up of 3 rectangles. Each rectangle has a length of 10 centimeters and a width of 4 centimeters. And she makes these 2 shapes. Which shape has the greatest perimeter? What other shapes can you make with 3 rectangles? What is the perimeter of the shape? So with this one, we need to remember again. So each rectangle has a length of 10 centimeters. So we'll do a rectangle down here and a width of 4. So a length of 10 centimeters and a width of 4 centimeters. So what do we know? Well, we know that this length here will be 20 centimeters. And we know that this here and this here will be 4 centimeters each. And then we know that these two will also be 4 centimeters each. And then we also know that all across that length there will be another 20 centimeters. So then we can add those up. It doesn't matter how long those 2 bits are. We know that from there to there is 20 centimeters. So if we add those up, there'll be 20, add 4, add 4, add 20, add 4, add 4. And hopefully you've got a perimeter of 56 centimeters for the first one. And then this one, we know that we've got, we'll go with this one. So we know that, that one's going to be 10. We know that this will be 4. We know that this will be 4 plus the 10. So we know that that one will be 14. We know from there to there, we know will be another 10 centimeters. We know from here to here will be another 4 centimeters. And we know from there to there, from there and all the way across actually will be another 14 centimeters. Okay, but what about these 2 lengths here? Well, again, we've got to assume that altogether this length and this length will add up to 20 centimeters. So this length here plus this length here, we've got to add up to 20 centimeters. But then we know that this one and this one So what I do know is that this bit here is 4 centimeters. So altogether, this is 10 centimeters. But if I take off that 4, that's going to have to be 6 centimeters in total. And then I take off this 4, and then this will be another 6 centimeters because 10 take away 6 is 4. And then I need to add the perimeter all around for this one. So I'll start up here and then add all the way around. So it'll be 4, add 10, add 14, add 6, add 4, add 10, add 14, add 6. I've got perimeter of 68 centimeters for this shape. So altogether, shape B will be the longest perimeter. And then hopefully you've had a go to try some of your own. And then this shape is made up from 4 shaded squares. Calculate the perimeter of the shape. Got 50 centimeters. And then an equilateral triangle inside a square. The perimeter of the triangle is 48 centimeters. What is the perimeter of the square? Hopefully that was a challenging one for you. And hope you got 64 centimeters. Okay, so that's the end of looking at perimeter. Tomorrow we're going to start looking at area. I'll see you there. See you next time.